So I think it's pretty clear that the Super Bowl is the biggest stage for people in the industry. Huge budgets, celebrity cameos, millions of eyes on your creative labor. Look, I'm not saying I know everything when it comes to advertising, but it doesn't take a Geico caveman to know that Puppy Monkey Baby is a shit Super Bowl ad. It's also the most watched television program of the year. Super Bowl 54 had a viewership of just under 100 million people, and a 30-second spot on Fox cost about $5.6 million. Considering we might not even get a Super Bowl in 2021, I picked out the 10 from this year that are at the bottom of the barrel. I'll link all 10 ads in the description if you want to watch the full commercial, but I'm not going to force you to sit through the whole thing. With that, let's jump in and start with number 10.
Get that money. Get that money.
Nope, I didn't cut the sound. That's literally this ad's whole gimmick. Show you something loud, and then the electric car won't make a sound. But you're saying you didn't put in a cool rev noise to make the car sound more powerful? Then they hit us with the line, "A quiet revolution is coming," which sounds more like a slogan 4chan and an angry army of incels would use. It's kind of ironic that a brand with a car like this is acting like they're the revolution of the electronic vehicle. Elon Musk is probably sitting there, plotting on how he can get his revenge on this ad. His revenge on Hummer. His revenge on the world. Also, bold choice of using a basketball scene for your football commercial. I mean, don't get me wrong, LeBron is a great choice for your celebrity cameo. You're just totally using him wrong.
Even if I was in a commercial for Sprite, which I am, I wouldn't tell you to drink it, no matter what that cue card says.
Bro, man, say it.
No.
Get that money. Get that money.
Howdy. Again?
Go wherever they need you.
Back-to-back car ads aren't looking great for vehicles to start off the list. Okay, the name for the spot is Heroes, and the first person you think of is Kobe Smulders? Okay, yeah, she's in Avengers, and I guess her role does resemble something Maria Hill would end up doing, so I'll let that pass. But what in God's flat earth is going on with the rest of the spot? She shows up to save a scientist from the coronavirus, a cowboy from some outlaws, and an Arctic researcher fighting off a monster that eats people with its toothy asshole?
Critter's got an ugly mouth.
That's not its mouth.
The spot ends with Smulders picking up her fake son who couldn't fit in the back of a cab with his friends. It honestly looks like she should be picking up a cooler group of heroes, but they couldn't get the rights to them because Marvel is in bed with Audi. Regardless, at 60 seconds long, it's a pretty expensive and confusing way to say, this car fits a lot of people. That's why it ends up at number 9 on our list.
Get that money. Get that money.
Here's another one that makes about as much sense as putting a band-aid over a gunshot wound. Turkish Airlines is comparing NASA sending a group of trained astronauts to space to millions of Americans not leaving the country. That's like saying in 1897 the first Boston Marathon was completed, yet today, millions of Americans still haven't taken a lift. See? Stupid. The ad is so over-the-top produced that it's hard to believe these are 3 real people and not actors. There is a behind-the-scenes video where you do find out these are real people, but they all describe legitimate excuses for why they can't travel. Russ owns a business that had to put his kids through college, Carlos has a 3-year-old son who has autism and doesn't like to be alone, and Maria is a single mother of 3 and sometimes works 2 jobs. So I think you can see why it's bullshit for Turkish Airlines to make that comparison earlier in the ad. You guys had it in 2017 for Super Bowl 51. Just stick with Morgan Freeman and everyone is going to love your ad.
Get that money. Get that money.
This just in. Is Jonah Hill going to flake out on Martin Scorsese?
I'm not sure how you can fuck up an ad with Martin Scorsese and Jonah Hill, but here we are at number 7. We have the great Martin Scorsese being super awkward at this costume party. So he texts the only person he apparently knows in Jonah Hill. Jonah Hill is confused about why Scorsese is texting him, and can you blame him? Look at the text messages between the two. Scorsese messages Jonah out of the blue asking him if he's close to the party. If they mentioned it out of text, Jonah Hill must have really not cared at all to pay attention. Apparently the world has a live stream to Scorsese and Jonah Hill's text messages, and we get a bunch of weird scenes just to be weird. Also, I'm not sure Martin Scorsese would have just stood around waiting on those 3 dots for 33 minutes, but I guess Scorsese is just a simp for Jonah Hill. Then there's the aggressively boring ending of just show up and that's it. It's not like Jonah Hill brought any life to the party. This is about doing the bare minimum and just showing up. Way to set the bar, Coke. They're missing the next 10 seconds of this spot where Jonah Hill looks around and says to Scorsese, let's get the hell out of here and go to a bar.
Get that money. Get that money.
Excuse me, ma'am. What you doing over there?
I'm building a website.
About what?
Winona.
Oh.
It's got pictures on it.
I like pictures.
Yeah, me too. That's why I'm making it.
Okay then, bye-bye now.
I made you watch the full ad because, well, if I had to sit through this awkward shit, then you did too. I'm not sure if they were going for a Stranger Things vibe with Winona Ryder in a small town talking to a cop, or maybe more of a Fargo vibe with how goddamn awkward this whole conversation is, but I'm certain you could have found something more interesting than just, lol, Winona goes to Winona, because pictures aren't going to get traffic to your website. This isn't the 90s and you aren't GeoCities.
I like pictures.
It also has an extended cut, a behind-the-scenes video, and a 3-minute short film because, of course it does. The only thing that actually makes sense is a full website they created, welcometowinona.com, you know, because that's what Squarespace actually does. Except going to the website is about as much fun as getting poked in the eye with a hot stick.
Get that money. Get that money.
John, Wyatt, did you bring me here?
I think it's time we throw old luxury and going away party.
Oh, you thought we were done with car ads? No. So, as we heard, Chrissy Teigen apparently doesn't know why she's at a fancy party until John Legend tells her that they're saying goodbye to old luxury. Somehow Chrissy now has a whole speech planned, and then there's this awkward moment where John Legend doesn't hit his cue, and an even more awkward moment of him making Chrissy tell him he's the sexiest man alive.
What's the magic word?
Sexiest man alive.
Okay.
The fuck? I feel like they kind of made fun of everyone in this. It touches on people in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and even 80s. Actually, is any of this really old luxury? I'm not sure how a giraffe in your front yard or leaning on someone could be considered luxury at all. In fact, the only thing old and worth a lot of money in this ad is Chrissy Teigen.
Got him.
And I still don't even know what new luxury is.
Get that money. Get that money.
It's called agape. Love as an action.
Okay, here we go with life insurance, the inventor of campy, feel-good manifestos that make you want to put a bullet in your skull. But you can't because that would void your life insurance. And obviously the people trying to sell you life insurance would be talking about love and life, and you better love that life so much you need to insure it.
For money?
This 60-second long ad starts off by throwing the Greek word philia at us, which is love between friends, storge, which is love between family members, eros, which is,
Nice.
but the word they can make the most money off of is agape. And can I ask, who the hell thought this was a good idea for football fans? This is what the majority of Super Bowl parties look like. You thought a 1-minute ad about Greek words was the right thing to try and sell NFL fans on? You load these guys up with a few beers and they had the combined IQ of spinach dip. Add in the fact that this 1-minute Greek lesson doesn't even feature celebrities is what lands it so low on the list. Not only are you up against the craziness of Super Bowl parties, you're up against Scorsese, you're up against Bryan Cranston, Post Malone, and Lil Nas X. I hope this ad was at the start of the Super Bowl because ain't no one skipping their bathroom break to watch this one.
Get that money. Get that money.
Greg, where are you?
I'll be there in a Quibi.
A what?
A Quibi. Less than 10 minutes.
Alright, Quibi is topping our charts at number 3 for, well, 3 reasons. 1, because they don't even bother using Celebrity Cameo. We just went over this with New York Life Insurance. 2, because Quibi sucks as a service and they had to reboot a 13-year-old show to have a somewhat relevant exclusive. And 3, because they tried to make in a Quibi a thing for people to say when they're 10 minutes or less away. But just no. Stop. It feels so, how do you do, fellow kids? Is using this meme also a how do you do, fellow kids moment? Am I the one out of touch?
No, it's the children who are wrong.
Whatever. Speaking of how do you do, fellow kids?
Get that money. Get that money.
All people are tag people. If you're falling by yourself, let me see it. Clap it up. Clap it up. Clap it up. If you need a little help, go ahead and hit us up.
This 45-second abomination falls into the same problem as Quibi, except it's 15 seconds longer and 10 times as brutal. Instead of trying to coin a phrase like in a Quibi, they've done the impossible and actually sold a TikTok dance to the tax client. I'm not kidding you either. I'm pretty sure this was an actual attempt to start a dance because TurboTax is one of the 5 brands TikTok partnered with. I'm not sure if any of these people are TikTok famous, and I frankly don't give a shit. They still didn't bother using any real celebrities. And I get that they needed to make this dance easy so everyone from a dumbass preteen to Shaq could do this dance. But could you have picked a dumber thing to do than shake like you have broken ass kneecaps while also looking like you're taking a fat deuce? Like no, nope. Stop it. That's actually kind of cool. And dumb. There's also a 70-second version if you really hate yourself and want to listen to another verse about taxes. The biggest problem with this commercial is I actually ended up having this goddamn song stuck in my head. Which means number 1 has to be pretty bad, right? Well...
Get that money. Get that money.
Is that a baby nut?
What the hell is even that?
I hate this thing so much. So, 2 weeks before the Super Bowl, Planters released an ad that literally killed off their beloved mascot by having him drive off a mountain and die in a fiery explosion. Now, killing off your mascot in the ACU already seems a little tasteless on its own. It's a good thing nothing happened in the real world to make this even worse.
This is CNN breaking news.
Kobe Bryant, the legendary NBA star, is dead tonight. The helicopter they were traveling in crashed outside of Los Angeles. No word yet on why it crashed.
Holy sweet fuck. Planters was now left with a choice. The Super Bowl is literally 1 week away. Do you be a decent human and maybe pull it off the air and find a way to spin this around? Or do you run the spot when everyone is thinking about the death of a beloved athlete? Obviously, they sat down and started weighing the options.
Mr. Peanut, he spent his life bringing people together.
I mean, I get it. Planters had already created both ads long before Kobe passed. They already had spent $5.6 million to get the funeral on the Super Bowl, plus the filming costs, plus the actor costs in Matt Walsh and Wesley Snipes, plus the CGI costs for Baby Peanut, Mr. Clean, and the Kool-Aid Man, and not to mention the agency costs. But it's still a shitbag trash ad. And hold on, are we just going to ignore the fact that the Kool-Aid Man can bring people back from the dead with his tears? Is he now the father of this nut? Is Mr. Clean the mother?
In the case of Planters Baby Nut, Kool-Aid Man.
You are the father!
It's pretty clear that Planters was really just looking to create their own baby form of mascot. I mean, Groot sacrificed his life and came back as a baby and it worked for Marvel. Baby Yoda did wonders for Disney. It's gotta be the exact same for Baby Nut and Planters, right? Right, guys? Hello? Not only is Mr. Peanut a baby, but he's slowly growing up and somehow has turned 21 in the span of 6 months. Is he gonna be 42 by next Super Bowl? He's gonna be 42 by next Super Bowl, isn't he? God damn it. Can we just wrap this up and get to the inevitable Mrs. Peanut that's bound to come around when he ends up starting a peanut family or some shit? God, that'll suck. And that's the 10 worst ads of Super Bowl 54. Honorable mentions go out to Amazon Alexa for creating a really good ad and then sticking the Queen of Cringe Ellen into the beginning and end, ruining the whole thing entirely. Facebook because fuck Facebook and they used I Wanna Rock by Twisted Sister and show a bunch of rock related Facebook groups down with Chris Rock playing Rocky, get it, while Stallone makes a brutal appearance. This should probably be on the list, but I didn't want to get claimed for the song, and did I mention fuck Facebook? And also Pop-Tarts and avocados from Mexico for showing up to the prom in the same dress. Both brands created ads that were in the form of infomercials. Super original, guys. Alright, TurboTax, remind us, what kind of people are tax people?